away from here. I'd like to thank the parent for his honesty, because I have many discussions with my own family members who have nothing to do with education. And from the outside looking in, it does look poor. And you go through these arguments day in and day out, and you're trying to justify your career. And it gets tiring when it starts from the top with your governor and it ends right at your school. And it gets very tiring. So I can understand, because I am a parent too, how it gets tiring defending that career and what's going on. But back in June, when the first calendar came out, the report card said 6:30.
Yep.
Since then, you have changed the calendar 4 times.
Because they can't get
So
it right.
we don't know what's going on. Parents didn't know what's going on, because on your own district Facebook page, someone said, oh, but I thought report cards were December 2nd. So the communication is lapsed somewhere, and it is sad that the parents are falling in the middle of this, because they do not deserve it. That was just off point. But I do thank you for your comments before. When I called to speak on Tuesday, I was a bit hesitant, because I am really at a loss for words. However, after pondering all that has been going on the past month, I found it only fitting that I speak what's on my mind and the unnecessary stress and problems facing the teaching community here in Jersey City. Not knowing where to begin, I guess I'll start with the students. I cannot imagine what it is like to be a student any longer. You have seen the tests that are being given to 5, 6, and 7-year-olds. They are beyond difficult and a total frustration to these students. Even the higher level thinking students have difficulty because the answers do not make sense, and they are so confused what to do to figure it out. I can only fathom the stress of a special needs student has when the tests are being administered. From an educator's perspective, it took 3 days to administer the college and career readiness test to my second graders. 3 days. Learning time wasted. Then they had to fill in Scantron sheets. That within itself was quite a task, because the numbers on the test did not match up to the numbers on the Scantron. I had to make a copy piece so I could explain to the students how to fill in the sheets. So here I am with a group of 7-year-olds staring at me saying, so number 4, fill in number 7. Number 6, part B, fill in number 12. You're setting them up to fail.
That's
They
it.
were so
That's
confused.
it. That's it.
As unaware state folks, I've been stress-filled in. And I say this because after those days of administering the test, the reading test, the math test, the science test, and finally grading all the tests, it was just completely absurd to be told they didn't count. Seriously. Days of review, days of testing, needless data, piles of paperwork, and it doesn't count.
What?
In other words, your time means nothing. The learning the students lost on those days means nothing. Sad. Very sad. It still hasn't been addressed what the district plans on doing about prepping for the PARCC test. It seems valid that a test which is primarily computer-based should be taken by students with some computer knowledge. I know in my classroom there are 7 students without a computer at home. I have 2 computers in my room. I schedule a lab time once a week, but that doesn't seem to be nearly as beneficial as perhaps having some computer teachers. Is the district looking into this?
No.
Now let's look at the whole EdConnect epic fail. Teachers pulled out their classrooms to be trained. Morning meetings to turnkey, wasted only to be told the website's down. No one sure when this would start. Now we're being told it may start on January 5th. In what year? This is a disgrace. We're getting memos, scrambling here and there, making sure SGOs are being met, making sure plans are done, grading unnecessary tests, and it's just a shrug. It's a terrible way to run a district. Try making sure everything is in place before giving a directive. I still believe if I taught my students half as poorly as some of these chiefs are doing their job, my evaluations would certainly show it. It's just not right. Millions spent on Pearson, on Reading Street. It's just a resource now. We don't need to do it. I don't get it. Finally, I stand firmly with my JCEA colleagues in my show of unity the past few nights.
That's
if a
right.
board can illegally change a time, I think we have a right to voice our concerns, and I believe we do. Let the negotiations begin.